This video is just to describe how we're going to get some Wireshark captures for this particular lab. To help understand how we're doing this, I've got a illustration here, and you can see R1, and notice for this 10 gigabit port, we normally show it as one line on a diagram, but this is now being separated into transmit and receive. The idea of this is that we can, if you look at this drawing here, you can see that if I take, for example, say it's coming out of R1, and the traffic and the direction of the light is coming in, and it comes in on X and it leaves out on Y, and then this is the part where the light is separated out. A little bit comes out onto out X, so that's in one direction, and then in the direction, say, from the R1 back to the tester, so it would be coming in this way and continue on the way out. So it's like a bump on the wire. There's no both devices have no idea that they've been intercepted, but then there's a little bit of fibre light comes off around here and comes out on out X. So out X gives us the ability to look at transmit and receive at the same time. The if I can move this over a bit, this is the actual patching, and you can see the from R1 it comes into out and in here, X, and then it continues out to the, in this case, to our switch, and then the actual sample, the wiretap sample, comes out on these cables here. Thing to understand also on the Spirent is that Spirent can only do a Wireshark on incoming data. So what we're looking at here is ports 2.1 and 2.2, and this gives us the ability to look at transmit and receive from the fibre tap. And notice transmit ports are not actually connected, so it's redundant in this particular case. And then we can use an extra Spirent. Obviously this is all extra Spirent ports we put into the lab, in addition to the ports we've already reserved, and then we can bring up I've created a virtual machine to support this, and this is it here. It's a Windows machine. I've given it quite a bit of RAM and hard disk, and it's on 105 admin and Cisco 123, and this is for Wireshark only. This is in addition to the tester we've already got. So on the diagram, we've got 3 fibre taps, 1, 2 and 3. So 3, for example, is intercepting the traffic from the Hyperflex cluster, the AIO stuff, and then 1 is going to router 1 and 2 is going to router 2. So how does that look in the real world? So this is the Wireshark on the Spirent, and so I've got this labelled as Wireshark tester, from the tester to R1, and from the test and from R1 back to the tester. I've got a bit of CDP here just to show I've connected it correctly, and Wireshark 3 to the Hyperflex cluster in that direction, and Hyperflex cluster back to R3 in this direction. So this is the configuration part, and to capture something, you would click on the particular port you're interested in and pick up the butterfly net, and you come along here and then press start to press start to capture. And now we're capturing whatever's there. At the moment, it's not on the screen, but let's see if I can get that up there. We have the results, and this is not capturing. This is just counting the the frames coming in from the devices. I'll just zero the counter by pressing that little yellow arrow, and we'll look for transmit receive. Notice there's nothing on transmit, that's perfectly okay. We've got something coming in continuously here, and that's on Wireshark BNG to R3. So BNG to R3. So let me stop this particular capture because there's not a lot of activity there, but on this one there is. So let's go for this one. Click capture and then start. And as I say, I'm looking at hopefully this traffic here. Okay, some packets are coming in, not a lot. Okay, we'll stop the traffic now. Stop the capture now, and then you click on view, and that brings up standard Wireshark. Bear in mind this is looking at it in one particular direction, so it looks like we've got some spanning tree heartbeats going along there. That's coming back from the Hyperflex cluster to the R3. Okay, that's really that's it. Thank you very much for listening.